Hello everyone, I Dr. Kamal Zaiwala welcome you all to the YouTube channel of Sri Swaminarayan Physiotherapy College Ahmedabad. In this video, I'll be covering two major spinal pathologies in which physical therapy has or plays a very major role. One of it is osteoporosis and the other one is ankylosing spondylitis. Ankylosing spondylitis is a rare type of arthritis that causes pain and stiffness in the spine. Ankylosis means fused bones or other hard tissue, whereas spondylitis means inflammation in the spine or the vertebrae. Ankylosing spondylitis generally starts with the SI joint and then gradually goes in the ascending order or in the descending order. Gradually, there is stiffness and fusion in the vertebrae and it starts affecting the entire spine. Generally, a person with ankylosing spondylitis starts having kyphosis, that is hunched back. In that, the normal posture of the individual suffering from ankylosing spondylitis changes. That is, the chin brow to vertical angle, that angle increases in case of ankylosing spondylitis. Another way to check for forward neck posture is also making the patient stand near the wall and then measure the distance between the tragus of the ear to the wall. The stiffness that is caused or the pain that is caused in ankylosing spondylitis, that does not only remain pertinent to the lower back or the spine, it gradually shifts to the buttocks or the shoulder areas. The rib cage can also get involved, because of which the patient can also have breathing difficulties and reduced chest expansion, and it can also cause pain in the thighs, knees, elbows, feet and heels. Ankylosing spondylitis is generally seen in patients in early adulthood. Almost 85 to 90% of the patients are diagnosed by the age of 26 to 30 years. Post 30 years or post 45 years, there are only 10 to 15% of the patients that are diagnosed. The typical characteristic pain or the pain and stiffness pattern in ankylosing spondylitis that makes it different from other back pains is that there is morning stiffness, which is generally relieved by the movement. As soon as the patient starts the day and starts doing the movements, the stiffness and the pain in the lower back keeps on reducing. Along with pain and stiffness, the patient can also experience tiredness, there can be swelling in the joints, and the patient may have breathing difficulties if the rib cage is involved. Gradually, as the disease progresses, the spine keeps on curving forward. In order to confirm the diagnosis of ankylosing spondylitis, we can go for a spinal X-ray, as well as in blood reports we can go for HLA-B27. In spinal X-ray we can see a characteristic bamboo spine appearance, which you can see in the image on the left side. And in the blood reports, if we go for HLA-B27 antigen, that test will come out to be positive in most of the cases of ankylosing spondylitis. On physical examination in ankylosing spondylitis, we will be able to appreciate that there is less amount of movement that is present between the vertebral joints. There is by far no cure for ankylosing spondylitis, but medication and exercise can be very helpful in reducing the pain and reducing the progress of the disease and reducing the stiffness in the back. Hence, physical therapy plays a very important role in the management of ankylosing spondylitis. Now coming to osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is also known as thinning of bones. It can result into painful fractures, and the risk factors for osteoporosis includes aging. It is seen in female more than in males, especially in the postmenopausal conditions, low body weight, low sex hormones or menopause, smoking, and other medications that lead to osteoporosis. Patients with osteoporosis may generally complain of back pain, and they can see gradual loss in the height, which is usually accompanied by a stooped posture. That is, there is increased thoracic kyphosis, and there is fracture of the spine, wrist, or the hip, even with the trivial trauma. Lifestyle choices like sedentary lifestyle, excessive alcohol consumption, and tobacco use can also lead to osteoporosis. There are also dietary factors or dietary causes associated for the osteoporosis, that is low calcium intake, then eating disorders, that is being underweight, and gastrointestinal surgeries, which leads to low absorption of the nutrients including calcium. Sometimes osteoporosis may become so severe that the patient may develop burst fracture in the spine, especially in the thoracic spine, pertaining to the increased kyphosis in the lower back, leading to wedging of the vertebrae. On X-ray, an osteoporotic bone will generally have a sclerotic margin. The best way to diagnose osteoporosis is through DEXA scan. The best ways to manage or combat osteoporosis is having proper dietary intake, take proper supplementation of calcium and vitamin D, as well as weight-bearing exercises. Lifestyle modification plays a very important role in case of managing or treating osteoporosis. So friends, that's it for the spinal pathologies part. I hope this video was helpful to you all. To get regular updates, kindly like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.